Hey everybody. Wow, what a day. Okay, it's gorgeous. It's amazing. I hope everyone is having a blessed day beyond your expectations. Today, I want to talk about disclosure. When is it coming out? We've heard especially in the, well, not necessarily in the spiritual community, but we've heard for a couple of years now that disclosure was going to come out. The EBS, all of that kind of stuff, and they're going to start spreading the truth and telling everybody what's going on. Well, if you think about it, disclosure is already coming out. It isn't a huge blast, but and I heard something a while back, and then it was like things just clicked the other day, and it was, when you have those aha moments. Yeah, that's what I had. So I'm going to share my aha moment with you, because I had heard something a while back that the people, those of us that are awake on whatever level that you are awake, whether it's a certain aspect or it's on everything, you've tried to tell people what you found out, and those that want to hear it will hear it, right? And those that just don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it. So what I heard a while back was, even if they came out with disclosure, these people that are so asleep and that just refuse to hear the truth, it doesn't matter how it's presented. They're not going to hear it. And when you think about it, for years, different things have come out over everything. When you think about movies, what was the movie I watched? I don't watch that much TV, but I was watching something. Was it like Land of the Lost a while back? I don't even remember why I was watching it, but I was watching Land of the Lost, which was a TV show back when I was a kid. And in that show, they had reptilians. Well, as a kid, you just think, or as a, whatever, you think, oh, well, it's a cartoon, it's a show, it's TV, it's not real. It is real. And then you've got, what were the kids? Just the shows when we were kids, it doesn't matter what it was. It came from the truth. The UFOs, the robots, the other planets. Look at Star Trek. It's all disclosure. It's whether you choose to believe that it could be real. And since that point, we've evolved. And just in the last, I would say 10 years, maybe, the level of people that homeschool their children it has gone off the chart, because parents started waking up to the fact that the school system was corrupt, and it was teaching an agenda, and it wasn't teaching the children what it should teach them. So all these people were pulling their kids out of public schools and teach them at home. So again, it's part of disclosure. But you've got people that you can tell them that, and they just aren't going to believe you. Oh no, the school system is great. It's free. It's great. Yeah. No. Yes, it's free to a point, but no, it's not great. And then you've got the medical industry, and you think about it, especially in 2020, look how many people woke up to the fact of what they were doing. They were pushing an agenda. And people are waking up to the fact that you can go to the doctor, but all they're going to do is prescribe you drugs. I mean, I had a neighbor that was, I still don't know. I don't even think she knows what she had. She had something, and the doctor was like, oh, well, I'm just going to give you medicine for a UTI. She didn't have a UTI, but he was just going to give her medicine for it. And she's like, why? Then they prescribed her I think it was like 12 pills. And insurance wasn't going to cover it. It was going to cost them $4,000 for like 12 pills. Needless to say, she said, thank you, but no. And it's just like, what? So people are waking up to the fact that the medical system is corrupt, and more people are going away from prescription drugs and big pharma, and they're heading to Ayurvedic medicine, the natural stuff, whatever you call it. Anyway, natural healing, because it has become a norm. It was demonized for so many years to brainwash you to think that you had to go to the doctor and get drugs. Get some kind of prescription medicine to heal whatever it was. And you couldn't heal yourself naturally because that's witchcraft. That's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. But now people are going back in that direction and healing themselves naturally. But again, it's who wants to hear it? Who's open to it? You still have people that have bought into the system that it takes medicine, it takes drugs, or they won't be healed. I mean, I remember back when I did, I worked for a company called Juice Plus for a while, and it's fruit, vegetable, and berries in a capsule. I still take them. Not like I should, but I still take them. And it's natural. It's food. And people wanted to question me on, oh, well, I need to talk to my doctor. What? You'll go to your doctor and take whatever he's willing to prescribe you, and it doesn't matter what side effects it has, but you're going to question something natural that has so many studies where it has proven to help people with no side effects, no negative side effects. It blows my mind. But then, and then now you've got religion. And people get caught up in, oh, no, you've got to be Catholic, you've got to be Christian, you've got to be whatever. But a lot of us have woken up to the fact that, no, that is another agenda to keep you in control and to keep you out of touch with who you and what you are. And it's selling limiting beliefs, division, fear, separation from God, all of those things. But again, if you are open to it, you'll hear it. If you're not open to it, it doesn't matter what anybody says. And then you've got all the trafficking. That's coming out big time, but again, I mean, I remember back, I guess it's been 3-4 years ago now, a friend of mine was telling me about Pizzagate. And it just didn't resonate with me. I was just like, yeah, I was too busy to worry about it, deal with it, whatever. Yeah, now I get it. Now I see what it is and understand that it is huge. And that level of corruption, Oh my God. In fact, what was it? My husband was telling me, somebody was telling me the other day, they're starting to find these organizations that are selling children's organs. Oh, and I think it came out because the new board czar that Trump is appointing. How do you lose over 300,000 children? They're just missing. How do you lose that many kids? Again, what I just said will resonate with you. It will hit you if you're ready to hear it. If you're not ready to hear it, what I just said is going to go in one ear and out the other, and you're going to call me a conspiracy theorist, and you're going to say I'm making shit up. You know? But look at the movie Sound of Freedom. I mean, it's their disclosure is happening. As awakened souls, as light beings, as star seeds, as whatever, it's our job to focus on not the negativity. Don't get caught up in the negativity of it. Know it's there, but don't focus on it. You can still try to help the situation, but the biggest thing is you work on you and open your mind to the fact that, you know what, if one of these things wasn't as I was told, then what's the likelihood that everything else that I've been told is not true? So, and now they're coming out with a lot of stuff about the ETs, and we're going to see them more, and especially I think next year, 2026. But again, if you don't believe in ETs, if you think it's just nonsense, you're not going to hear it. And you're just going to shut it out. It wouldn't make any difference whether it comes out the way it's coming out now. Like, easy over time to get people to slowly start opening up to this, or if it just comes in a big disclosure broadcast. I mean, 9/11. The evidence is out there that it wasn't somebody from another country who did it. It was our country that blew up those buildings. It was our government that blew up those buildings. The evidence is there. You can choose to believe it or not. Just like with COVID, the evidence is out there that it was damaging and it killed more people than anything has. But you still have people that choose to not believe it and want to go get more shots. It doesn't matter what you say. They will only hear it when they're meant to hear it. I have people that want to argue with me still. The Biden is great and Fauci is great. And I'm like, oh my God, you have to be kidding me. Again, so come from a place of not waiting. Because when we're waiting for something to happen, you come from lack. It's time to eliminate the lack in our lives. And it's time to come from a place of happiness and gratitude. And I'm not saying that all of this nonsense is something to be grateful for, but it is our experience, and be grateful that the truth is coming out. Just because it's not coming out the way that we were initially told it would be, or the way we think it should be, doesn't mean it's not. So be grateful that it is coming out. The truth is coming out. More people are waking up. Every one of these, even what's happening right now, where they're saying that Biden is trying to cause World War III, again, it's part of what is going to be needed to wake more people up. But don't get caught in the drama. And I've said this all along, you need to focus on what you want the outcome to be. What brings you peace? What brings you happiness and joy? And come from a place that it's already there. Because what is on the outside, what you're experiencing on the outside, comes from what you're experiencing on the inside. And a lot of people don't get that. And again, that is out there. People are telling you this. It's up to you whether you believe it or not. And, so if you're wherever you are on your journey, there is no judgment. There is no right. There is no wrong. It just is. But it's, where are you? And are you happy with where you are? If you're happy, then be happy. If you're not happy with where you are, you have to change something. And start opening up to the fact that there's probably more than what you've been told. You just have to look for it. It's there. You're not going to see it on the local news at night on your TV. I mean, you can follow people like Candace Owens, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, and those are just 3 off the top of my head. There are so many more that are telling the truth. And that's why they're being attacked so badly. Because the corruption doesn't want the truth out there. So, I mean, even back in 2020, there were doctors that were telling you, don't get this stuff. Don't get the jab. Take ivermectin. I mean, I talked to a pharmacist the other day, and he said he said it blew his mind. He said ivermectin had been on their shelves for years. They prescribed it for whatever, numerous different things, but all of a sudden they're being told, no, you can't prescribe it. It's horse medicine. And these pharmacists were like, oh, okay, well, I can't prescribe it. And he's like, what changed? It's the same thing that we've been prescribing for years that has helped people. But now all of a sudden they're saying, oh no, it's horse medicine. It's because they didn't want you healed. They wanted you sick. A lot of it, they wanted you to not make it. And a lot of people didn't. So, like I said, the truth is out there, and more of it's coming out every day. Disclosure is happening as we speak. You have to be willing, and everybody has to be willing to accept it and not shut it out. That's the problem. That's what has gotten us to this point. And I remember, what was it? Somebody, because I said something about the older generation, older than me, which is older. They grew up when TVs first came online, and you had comedy, you had real TV, you had real news that wasn't biased, it wasn't inflicting fear, it was just the news. This is what happened today in the world. This is what happened today in your local neighborhood. And it was just news. That's what they grew up with. So they still have the mentality to think that the news is non-biased and it's the truth, not understanding that it's been corrupted over time. You can't change their point of view until they're ready to change it. You know, people that have grown up in the school system thinking that the school system is all that in a bag of chips, it's only when they're ready to see it will they see it. Organized religion, the same thing. You've got people still pushing organized religion and telling you if you don't believe it their way, you're going to go to hell. Well, no, I'm not. I live in heaven every day because I'm not tied to the limiting beliefs and the nonsense and the agenda that they're continuing to push. And I don't get caught up in the fear, and I don't push the fear. You get what you focus on. If you want to continue focusing on the limiting beliefs and the fear, that's what you're going to get. And that's what you're going to help perpetuate throughout more time. If you're like me and you're tired of the nonsense, shut it off. Don't even listen to it. Don't even pay attention to it. Don't even give it, because when you're watching it, you're sending it energy. And when you send it energy, it's like watering a plant. It's helping it grow. If you don't want it to grow, stop watering it. Stop giving it energy. Water you. And you grow in love and light and what you want to have your life to be. So anyway, I like I said, the aha moment hit me the other day. I was like, oh my God, disclosure's already out. For those that want to see it. So, you know, yes, it's frustrating when people try to argue with you and tell you that you're wrong and you're a conspiracy theorist and all of these kinds of things, but you can't it's not for us to judge them. They'll get it if and when they're meant to get it. And nothing you say is going to change their mind. It's like my husband told me this morning. He was watching some comedian that talked about the guy was a psychiatrist or something, and he said he was helping people or working on people that had Trump derangement syndrome, and he said this person comes in his office and he's like all in a flutter that, oh my God, Trump is going to take away my right to have a kid. And the guy looked at him and he said, you're a man. I mean, it's that crazy. They're not even logical. It's like, and I keep bringing this, it's like my mother. God love her. All I can do is love her and just let her live in her world. It's not my world. But she has Trump derangement syndrome. It doesn't matter what I say. I could show her cold, hard proof and she would still say I'm lying. I'm making it up. No, that can't be. Biden can't be bad. His wife is a school teacher. Yeah. We got people that voted for him because he plays crossword puzzles. I'm like, and they do too. They can relate to that. I'm like, oh my God. That's not why you vote for somebody to run our country. But anyway, again, that's their world. That's not mine. So there is a split in timelines. It's what you choose your timeline to be. Nobody can make it happen for you. You have to make it happen for yourself. And you have to pick your timeline. What do you want your timeline to look like? So don't get caught in the drama. Don't get bogged down with the fact that nobody's getting it and you can't wait for disclosure to happen, because disclosure is happening. It has been happening. They've been telling us for years. The dark side, they have to tell you what's coming before they actually do it. And if you go back in time and you look at the movies that came out, the TV shows and all that kind of stuff that came out, and then what happened after that, and they've said, I don't watch The Simpsons because it appalls me. So I just don't watch The Simpsons. But they've said, what happens on The Simpsons is what's happening in our world. Maybe that's why it appalls me. But I choose not to watch The Simpsons, and I choose not to focus on what's going on in the world. That's not where I send my energy. I know it's there, but I focus on the gratitude and the things that I have, and the life that I have, which is amazing. So you guys have an amazing day. Pick the higher road, pick the higher timeline, pick the path of least resistance. No. Yeah. Yes. Pick the path of least resistance. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's not about the opposition. It's not about just caving and going with the agenda and not coming up against the opposition. No. It's living from your peace and your purpose. And when you live from your peace and your purpose, it will be the path of least resistance. It's because it's like everything else that I've always said. Anything I manifested, anything else that has happened in my existence, when it's meant to be, it just flows like water. There is no resistance. Anytime I get resistance, it's because I'm bucking that system. I choose not to buck that system. I choose to go with the flow. I told somebody the other day, I'm very fluid. It's like water down a stream. You just go with the flow. And there is no resistance. And life is amazing. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Go with the flow. And if you have questions, reach out to me. But we will talk soon.